What's going on YouTube? It's Giga here bringing you some more Series 9 Wi-Fi battles with live commentary. Today, I'm really excited to feature this team. It was it was built by Yuki Zaninovich and made it all the way to 21st place in the Players' Cup 3 qualifiers. This team is really exciting, mainly because of the fact that Yuki is someone I know in real life, and we kind of lost touch as a result of COVID in the past couple years. So seeing his name and reconnecting with him has honestly been one of my favorite parts of these last couple months. So this is an incredible team. Yuki's an incredible Pokemon player and person. So I'm really excited to try it out. I think it does some cool things that I'm not familiar with, and hopefully I can do it justice. So the rental code is here below. I'll make sure to include the PokePaste. And yeah, with that, let's just hop into the first game. All right, game number one, and it is Urshifu Colossal with Weezing, Gigas, Ferrothorn, and Moltres. This is hard. I don't. I do like Rotom Wash. I think Rotom Wash is overall a really good option. But the question though is what is my opponent going to lead? Because if it's that Urshifu Colossal, Rotom is a really good option. Actually, Incineroar is a really good option in general because of the fact that it has Fake Out. So I'm gonna do Incineroar Glastrier, right? Because Incineroar Glastrier means that I can. Or do I want to do Incineroar Rotom? Yeah, that's hard. I'm gonna go with Incineroar Glastrier. I think there's a very good argument to be made for another pair of leads. Amoonguss is tempting. I'm going to go with Amoonguss, and then... Oh, the communication with the other trainer was interrupted. So, that doesn't count. Let's see their team anyway. We're going to just ignore that battle, but yeah, it was pretty standard Urshifu. Not much to say there. We do have, the max speed, max special attack Colossal. With Meteor Beam, Heat Wave, no Solar Beam in favor of Earth Power, which I honestly am a personal fan of. We do have Weezing, a very standard set there, and then Ferrothorn, max HP, max defense, going for standard Iron Defense. We have a really slow but bulky Moltres with Safety Goggles, which I think is actually really cool. And then we have Regigigas with Thunder Punch, not something you see every day. And Earthquake too. That's actually really interesting as well. The fact that they're opting for Earthquake when they have Weezing on their team. I mean, as their main partner. And then we're back to Urshifu. But yeah, obviously they disconnected, so that doesn't count. And let's just move right back and find a different opponent. Okay, so real game number one, and this is also a Trick Room team. On my opponent's end, it is Indeedee, Amoonguss with the Hatterene. There is Glastrier with Stagataka and Torkoal. So this is a little bit interesting in and of the fact that while normally Glastrier is a really great option, I do have to be weary of that Torkoal. So I actually do really like Rotom here. I'm thinking, Incineroar Rotom? Do I want to do Incineroar Rotom? Because I am fine with them potentially setting up Trick Room, because Rotom is a very good threat into their team. I do like Incineroar. I think what is tricky though is because Rotom has Levitate, it can be the target of those spores. Yeah, and the fact that Amoonguss, I'm gonna go with Incineroar Rotom. I think if I need to pivot out Incineroar, that's fine. Glastrier, I think, is just such a big hitter. Amoonguss is a hard sell. I'm going to ring Porygon. I think Porygon is just really bulky and should kind of help deal with a lot of my opponent's team. So now is the question of what are they going to lead with. I think figuring out when to max the Rotom is going to be a really big deal. And so they're going to lead with Indeedee Hatterene, which, I think that makes a lot of sense. What I'm thinking is let's Let's get an intimidate on, I mean, not an intimidate, a taunt onto the Indeedee to stop it from going for follow me subsequent turns, and then just nasty plot up with Rotom. Because if we expect the Hatterene to go for something like a Trick Room, which it probably will, yeah, I'm going to expect Hatterene to go for a Trick Room. I'm going to taunt into Indeedee and then just nasty plot with the Rotom. And then that should give us hopefully a pretty safe option in the event that they Trick Room. What is a little bit unfortunate is, okay, so, they're just going to straight up go for an attack. Interesting. They're going to double up, yeah, because I'm guessing they're going to try and double up into Rotom. That is going to trigger the Citrus Berry. And now is the question of, are you going to also taunt, or not taunt, are you going to also attack with the Hatterene? They are going to Expanding Force as well. Okay, so that tells me that Rotom is the biggest threat to their team. And unfortunately, they do pick up the knockout, which is a little bit tricky. But we do get the taunt off into the Indeedee. So we can probably heavy slam into the Hatterene. I think we can Flare Blitz into the Indeedee and then go for a Steel Spike into Hatterene. Yeah, that is a little bit tricky. That is tricky that they doubled up into Rotom. I did want to try and set up a nasty plot, and that arguably could have been very greedy because I was expecting a far more passive lead with Follow Me and Trick Room, and my opponent really capitalized on that by taking advantage of that and not letting me set up with Rotom. Because if I had done that and they had gone for what I had said, then I would have been in just an incredible position with the fact that I was able to max the the Rotom the subsequent turn with enough HP to live a fair amount of their hits and then really just start punishing them. But they did pivot, so I think Glastrier does make sense. I'm hoping that I can slow them down enough that even if they do have Torkoal in the back, it isn't going to be the worst deal. Hatterene is going to protect. That's fine. I don't expect myself taking... Yeah, this Expanding Force should not do too much. It's going to do, 410 down to... the crits are obviously going to add up, but we are going to start getting some good recoil... I mean, not recoil, some good damage onto the Indeedee. In fact, it's going to be over half with Incineroar. So this is theoretically going to be next turn a double knockout. I feel like... actually, that's a close call because of how little that Steel Spike did through Protect. Do I want to double up into Hatterene? Indeedee is not really a threat because of the fact that it's taunted. Oh no, I actually... No, because what I'm afraid of is because what I'm afraid of then is if Indeedee's taunt wears off and then they're going to be able to... Okay, so they're going to bring up Torkoal. And what I'm guessing, that makes sense. So they're most likely now going to try and... Oh, they're going to double switch. Interesting. So they have Stack Attacker and Torkoal in the back. So we are going to get off, albeit very little damage. But now is a question of what do I target? I mean, so Stack Attacker, what? Took actually a sizable chunk. Stack Attacker does have the option for Trick Room. Torkoal does not. So what I'm thinking actually then is to taunt into the Stack Attacker and then max Quake the Torkoal. Yeah, because that way they can't set up Trick Room, and I think keeping Glastrier as essentially the fastest thing on the field is what's most important. It is just a little bit tricky because I do want to preserve Incineroar against their Indeedee, because the fear then is they have the Follow Me option that I can't really do much about. But I mean, my opponent is stalling out my max, which I think is a really good play on their end, because now I'm gonna finish Glastrier maxing. Oh, they're gonna max too, so this is most likely Stack Attacko, and that's actually really tricky because, yep, it is Stack Attacko. That's tricky because of the fact that I don't have good damage into it outside of Glastrier. So Glastrier living the first hit from Torkoal is going to be really important, especially given the fact that Incineroar is going for a taunt to try and stop a Trick Room. But I mean, what, Glastrier is at +2, and the fact that like Incineroar will be able to Parting Shot, that doesn't do nearly as much as I would have liked. And then what, we're gonna have to take a Rockfall. They are going to, yep, max Rockfall into Incineroar. It's an interesting play, but I actually really understand why my opponent went for it. So now they do have the Sandstorm boost, but Incineroar can Parting Shot. Yeah, Incineroar has the option of Parting Shotting out this next turn into something else. And I think because Torkoal now is under half, I'm not super worried about it one-shotting Glastrier. So I'm going to double up into Stack Attacko. Do I want to? Yeah, I'm going to double up into Stack Attacko. And I think if I can bring out Amoonguss, what? Amoonguss actually does have a speed investment. So I can put things to sleep depending on what terrain is up. It should still be the Psychic terrain. So that means, yeah, I can put things to sleep, and that can theoretically put me in a really good position. Yeah, so let's... Yeah, targeting into the Stack Attacka, I think, is the best play. Yeah, they're going to withdraw Torkoal because they do want the sun up. Oh, they're going to bring out Hatterene. Interesting choice. I thought Indeedee made more sense. But... because what? This lets them... I can actually bring out... Oh, I have Porygon. I don't have Rotom. I mean, not Rotom. I don't have Amoonguss. So we are going to bring up Porygon. Let's see. Then we can hopefully KO with High Horsepower. High Horsepower is not going to be enough. Yeah, because Stack Attack... Oh, that's bad. But it only is at +1. And they're going to Rockfall again, and that's going to go into the Porygon slot. So they're really worried about Incineroar, which I think makes sense because of the amount of pressure it puts onto their team. But I don't think that their Stack Attack has Protect. So I'm going to try and... Do I want to recover? No, I'm going to try attack into Hatterene and then High Horsepower into Stack Attacko, with the idea that I just want to knock out the Stack Attacko, which... Okay, Hatterene's going to Protect, which arguably I should have gone for Porygon going for Recover there, but that's fine. And then this High Horsepower is going to finish off the Stack Attacko. Nice. And now we're in a really good spot because other than Indeedee, Porygon is the fastest thing on the field. I do have +2 attack on Glastrier, and it is fairly healthy. It's over half, and the rest of their team is special attackers. So, yeah, it's special attackers, and the fact that Incineroar cannot hit into... Or not Incineroar. They cannot hit into Incineroar with the Indeedee or the Hatterene. So what I'm thinking is... I can't afford to risk losing Incineroar. I'm going to try to recover with Porygon, and then go for a Heavy Slam in a Hatterene. I think that makes the most sense. Because luckily they don't have good damage onto they don't have good damage onto Incineroar. Porygon's going to live, which is huge because I do get the recover off, and it means they're not going for a Follow Me. And then this Heavy Slam is at +2, and then that hopefully should take out Hatterene. So Hatterene is going to, Hatterene's going to go down. That means my opponent just has Torkoal and Indeedee left. And then Glastrier is going to be at +3. And we're pretty good health-wise, and we still have Incineroar, which can provide additional pressure. The only question is, because I can take another Expanding Force from Indeedee. I'm actually shocked they're not going for Follow Me. We do have the Drought to stop a lot of the weather, and now I'm gonna try attack onto Indeedee and just close combat into Torkoal. Should I double up into Torkoal? No. Yeah, I mean, if they have... Yeah, there's the Follow Me. What's nice, though, is Porygon is faster, and I'm hoping that Tri-Attack should knock out Indeedee. It is really low, and yeah, Indeedee's going to go down, which is great, because now what that means is Glastrier's close combat into Torkoal will finish it off. Perfect. Nice. Yeah, this team plays really well, and I think finding sort of the best avenue to let it shine really, really helped this game, because it was just like a lot of pivoting, and I think it was honestly a little bit my opponent not going for Follow Me's so early on, which I think that was questionable. They had Hyper Voice too, so the fact that they still chose to Expanding Force, trying to get rid of my Rotom. I mean, it made sense to target the Rotom, but I think it was a questionable choice in the end. I always forget that stops you from seeing their team. But yeah, very cool. Nice first game, and let's just hop right into the next one. All right, game number 2, and this is Latias Metagross, Regieleki with Urshifu, Whimsicott, and Tapu Fini. I really like Rotom into this match. I think it does a really good job into my opponent's team. Yeah, because it deals with Tapu Fini. That Metagross doesn't have too many answers into it. It handles Regieleki really well. Urshifu is a little bit scary for sure. And yeah, it also deals with Tapu Fini. So what? But the main question though is how do I deal with Metagross? And do I think it's policy Metagross? I do. Incineroar's Fake Out is really good. I think my opponent... Fake Out? I do like Togekiss. No, Togekiss is not a good option. Let's do Incineroar Amoonguss. Yeah, I think an Amoonguss has a chance of really putting on some good pressure. Particularly if I can... I mean, the fear is obviously Regieleki maxes, but I don't think that's the worst case scenario. Let's bring Rotom, and then... let's go with Glastrier in the back. I think Glastrier on its own is just such a powerhouse that it doesn't always need Trick Room support. And this team is fairly slow overall with not a lot of speed investment, the fastest thing being Rotom. And I think, playing around that is going to be hard. I think, maybe Porygon. Porygon could have been the better option. So they're leading Whimsicott, which makes me think it's eject button. I actually really think that Whimsicott is eject button. I'm not really worried about Regieleki, so I'm going to Fake Out and Sludge Bomb the Whimsicott. Yeah, I mean, I think this covers if the Whimsicott is not eject button. and it gets rid of it, but the fear is if the Whimsicott is eject button. Oh, nice. And they're going to protect with a Lecky. So we're going to safely get off a fake out. Let's see. Nope, not. And then the Sludge Bomb hopefully will take it out. So, yep, nice, great. So they're down that, and none of my Pokemon have taken any damage this first turn. So this is a pretty good position. The fear obviously is... okay, so they bring out Tapu Fini, which is an interesting choice. Because it doesn't really have a good option into a Moongus. So what? I'm going to I could taunt into Tapu Fini. I'm going to taunt into it in case it's a Combine variant and just go for a Sludge Bomb. Because then I'm not super worried about Spore. And what I'm hoping is if I can taunt into it, they're going to straight max. So the question is what are they maxing? I expect it to be Tapu Fini. Yep, okay, it is Tapu Fini. So the taunt's going to be huge. We might lose Incineroar, but I'm actually not super worried. Unless for some reason it's like, let's see. Oh, they're going to Thunder Wave. Very interesting. Wow. Oh, wow. Max Hailstorm. Amoonguss is going to hold on, which is a really big deal. And then what I can do is what? I can... Actually... Oh, wow. Life Orb Tapu Fini. Actually, that's not necessarily ideal. Because I really would have liked to free switch into... what is it called? Into Rotom. And now I risk losing... I could double switch. I could, Parting Shot into the Regieleki and then switch out to Glastrier in the Tapu Fini slot, expecting it to go for probably another Hailstorm. And yeah, that'll let us get Chip. I'm shocked they don't have Metagross. Or, I mean, they might in the back. But, okay, so they're going to Thunderbolt into Glastrier. Wow. So they're probably going to Geyser. Yep, Geyser into Incineroar. Incineroar hopefully will live. Does not. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, because now we do have a safe switch into the Rotom. And how much bulk does this Rotom have? I'm just gonna look real quick. It does have a lot of HP. Not so much special defense, but hopefully, I mean, that shouldn't be an issue. We do have a really straight up Max Lightning, which they cannot protect against, and then I have a nice high horsepower into this Regieleki, which honestly does not have very good damage into my team right now. Losing Incineroar was a little bit tricky because of the fact that I lose that fake out pressure, and if they do have Metagross as their fourth, it does make things really hard. I mean, not necessarily, because I do have Amoonguss to redirect attacks, but the thing is, like, it depends on when I can quote unquote force out their Metagross. So okay, so they're just gonna Thunderbolt into Glastrier. Glastrier is going to hold on. They're going to Geyser. They might Geyser into... Okay, so they're going to double up into Glastrier, which is fine with me. Glastrier is going to go down. It is worth noting that Tapu Fini is faster than Rotom, which makes me think that it is max speed. Okay, so Tapu Fini goes down, which is good because now my opponent has 2 Pokemon left, and what I'm thinking is to protect this next turn with Amoonguss to try and basically catch whatever attack Regieleki is going to throw at it, and then try and focus my attention on their fourth. So their fourth is going to be Urshifu, which is actually really scary because Urshifu can hit through an Amoonguss protect, and That's actually really scary because there's no more weather left. Yeah. I'm gonna have to what protect? Protect to stall out. So what? I don't actually think the Urshifu is. Would the Urshifu be focus sash? That's the question. Is Urshifu banded? If Urshifu is banded, that makes the most sense. They're gonna Thunderbolt into Amoonguss. Urshifu is going to Wicked Blow into. Yep, into Amoonguss. Amoonguss is gonna go down. Nice critical hit. Wow, what are the odds? Let's see. Yeah, if they are banded, that's great. And they are or they're just gonna live. So now I have to Geyser. Yeah, I'm way more worried about the Urshifu. Wow. That did a ton of damage. Was that a critical hit? That was not. Wicked Blow. Yeah, so we're gonna knock out the Urshifu, but because of just how much damage that Thunderbolt did, I don't think we can't survive another one. Unless I can. Oh yeah, no, we're at 19 HP. There are 2 turns of electric terrain left. So I can protect. Yeah, that Urshifu living made things really tricky because of the fact that it made it so I had to take another turn of max to focus on Urshifu instead of focus on Regieleki, which is really unfortunate. Obviously I can't come back from this point, but yeah, that was very well played. I think there were a lot of points where I thought I had the clear upper hand, and it turns out that I didn't. And then my opponent just kept fighting, and I think played really well into what was happening, and that let them get the upper hand in the end. And me choosing not to focus on Regieleki was definitely detrimental. I do wish I could have seen their team though to know what items went there, but yeah, that's fine. We're still doing well, and let's play one more and see how we can do in this third match. All right, battle number 3. So we are looking at a Cinderace with Tornadus, Landorus, Frostmoth, Stakataka, and Indeedee. I do like Trick Room. I like Trick Room, and I like Incineroar. Yeah, I think Porygon Incin? Porygon Togekiss is tempting. I'm tempted to do Togekiss. Do I want to do Togekiss? I'm tempted to do Togekiss over Incineroar because of the fact that I can follow me. And I think that's really important. Yeah, I mean, I do have Yawn because what I'm afraid of is Cinderace maxing turn 1 and taking out Porygon, and then I think Glastrier, Incineroar, or Rotom. Rotom hits into. Yeah, I think Rotom once again is really valuable. Incin, I mean the Intimidate is so valuable. I wish I could do. I'm gonna actually do. Nope. Let's see if I can get this. Amoonguss with Incin and Glastrier. I think being able to pivot the Intimidates with Amoonguss and Incineroar and having that strong swap out core is going to be really big, because then I can really put a lot of pressure there, because their team is very physical, and that I think will give me a huge advantage overall in the late game. So they're going to lead with Cinderace and Genie. So I don't really want Amoonguss to eat a fireball. There also is the fear. Let's go for it. I know it's really obvious. Yeah, I mean, I might lose Incineroar. I mean, not Incineroar. I could have... They're going to double up into it? They're going to coaching. Interesting. Oh, wow. Is this physical? This is physical Tornadus. Wow. Okay. Physical Tornado. Interesting. That's really good to know, because now... Okay, so they're going to bring out Stakataka. And now what I can do is... What? I can put Stakataka to sleep. They're probably going to be coaching, so I'm going to switch out to Incineroar with Porygon, and then I'm going to just Spore Stakataka. Because now what I can do is I can... The issue, though, is Cinderace is coaching. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to just lower... I'm trying to lower Stakataka's attack enough to the point where I can really use Glastrier to sweep. But I do have to be cognizant of the fact that, like, they do have this huge threat. And the issue now is the fact that... what is it called? Stakataka is going to be faster than me under Trick Room. So this is turn number 1, and I think it's also going to be really important to remember how many turns have passed under Trick Room. So they're going to switch out. They're going to bring out Indeedee, which I think is a very good play. They're going to set up Psychic Surge, and they're going to allow for Follow Me's, which is going to be huge. They're going to just go for a Rock Slide, which they're trying to get a flinch on Amoonguss. Amoonguss does connect with the Spore, which is huge. And now, because now what I can do is I can Parting Shot into Stakataka, and I can Spore the Indeedee. And now what I can do then is I can pivot out to Glastrier. Oh, nice. That's actually really good for me, because now, Stakataka is going to stay asleep. I'm going to be able to get the Parting Shot off, and now that Stakataka is going to be at -2. Yeah, this is actually going to be really important to remember how many turns of Trick Room there are. And so we can bring out Glastrier, and I want to say, it should be safe to go for... Yeah, oh wait, I have Amoonguss. So I can safely go for a Max Quake onto Stakataka, and then just Rage Powder. I think I do put my Amoonguss in a little bit of a predicament, and I think... Okay, so yeah, they're gonna max Stakataka, which is an interesting call given the fact that it's asleep, but we can at least divert one attack from it. And even if they do manage to knock out Amoonguss, which I don't think is unheard of, we will be able to bring back Incineroar to put it back at -3 attack. So this is a pretty favorable position, I would like to think. The fear... Oh, wait, what am I talking about? They're gonna redirect with Indeedee. Yeah, that's actually the tricky part, is now both of us are going for that what is it called? The targeting, the changing of targeting. I don't know if there's a correct term. So they're gonna, Indeedee's gonna come out, or not Indeedee's gonna come out. Indeedee's gonna go for Follow Me. They still are asleep, which I think is really huge. We do get a Max Quake off into their Indeedee. It's gonna do over half, and I think at this point we can. Yeah, I do want Amoonguss to be healthy. I'm gonna swap it out. I'm gonna just Hailstorm to finish off this, and then bring out Incineroar to get another attack drop onto Stack Attacka and really put it in this like low position where it's not going to be doing a ton of damage. We should be able to get the KO onto Ndidi, even if it does go for another Follow Me. And I'm pretty sure Stack Attack has to wake up this turn, right? I think that's been 3 turns. Oh wow, no, it's the next turn that they have to wake up, which is great. We're going to be able to connect, get a Hailstorm off. We're going to now have Glass Treehair at +1, and they are going to have a Stack Attack at -3. The tricky part is that Trick Room is almost over, and that can be a little bit scary, but I think just given overall the amount of pressure that... Oh wait, Trick Room is over. I don't know why I thought there were more turns. So they're going to bring out... What are they bringing out? They're going to bring out Cinderace again. I still think the ideal option is to Quake here and then Parting Shot. Yeah, because now I'm faster than Stack Attacka. So yeah, I'm going to go for that. Because Stack Attacka at this point... Okay, they're just going to cancel. I did think Stack Attacka was the main threat, and being able to really just continue to put a ton of pressure on it was what was going to pull me through. So yeah, I mean, that was definitely a tricky battle for sure, where I had to really play around a lot of things. But I think this team obviously did well, and there's a reason for it, and you can see it in the spreads. But I'm actually really curious on them. So they had White Herb, Cinderace, and Max Speed. So Pyro Ball, Ironhead, Bounce, Coaching. That's really cool. They had interesting. They had a timid Tornadus, but they had a U-turn. And wow. I think Tailwind, it didn't make sense to Tailwind, but I'm shocked they didn't go for a taunt. I felt like it was so obvious that Porygon was going to set up Trick Room, but I guess they wanted to bring out Stack Attacka. Landorus, pretty standard Swords Dance set. We have Frostmoth. I think this would have been really cool to see. Yeah, this thing, I want to play more with Frostmoth, so expect some games soon. They have a max HP, max attack, Brave, Stack Attacka with Rock Slide, Body Press, High Horsepower, Gyro Ball, Indeedee, yeah, very standard. And then, yeah, we're back to Cinderace. So, yeah, very cool. This team is incredible. I like it so far. We'll play some more games with it tomorrow. Hopefully we can continue to do well. And until then, I hope, as always, all of you are wonderful.